For today, in the name of freedom, we take the battle to them.
Spider-Man 4 is honestly getting as much, if not more, discussion amongst the fans than Spider-Man No Way Home, a movie which became one of the highest grossing films ever and one of the most pleasing MCU movies to date, especially after Avengers Endgame. The movie ended with setting up possibly like the best thing ever, and that is finally Tom Holland's Spider-Man becoming the real proper Spider-Man we all know and love. No help, no assistance, no buddy cop movie. But then Sony stepped in. Sony saw the numbers of No Way Home. They saw how much it made, and they were like, we have to do this again. Now, Venom: The Last Dance comes out in about a week from when I'm recording this. However, it'll only be until the end of November until I can watch it because I will be busy. But what we assume that movie is setting up is going to be Venom coming to the MCU, because we know that in that movie, Null is going to be kind of sitting on his throne and just showing up maybe twice in the film. Maybe in the beginning or the middle, and definitely at the end. But he is reportedly going to be the big bad of Spider-Man 4, which has upsetted a lot of people because Null really should not just be a Spider-Man villain. He is bigger than an Avengers level threat. And many of us did want a grounded story with Kingpin possibly involving Daredevil, because if I'm going to be honest with you, given especially it in live action, you cannot have Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin as a villain without having Charlie Cox's Daredevil. So as much as I would love a solo Spider-Man movie, I just don't think that we can get that. But something that has kind of eased the pain for a lot of fans was the Canadian lad kind of reminding all of us that it was impossible for Spider-Man 4 to be grounded in the first place. So he basically reminded all of us that Spider-Man 4 is only going to be released after Avengers Doomsday. And what Avengers Doomsday is going to probably end with, is Doctor Doom creating Battleworld. And if you don't know what Battleworld is, it's basically going to be essentially a planet made up of parts from different universes. So, most of you watching are from America. Just think of the planet being like the 50 states, right? Except each state is from a different universe. That's kind of the best way I can describe it, except it's an entire planet. So you could literally have Tom Holland Spider-Man, maybe you just walk down the street and he'll, meet Bully Maguire and Andrew Garfield. So, anything's possible, really. And because of that, because it's going to take place after Avengers Doomsday, you cannot have a grounded Spider-Man story, because there is no way that he's going to be taken to a completely different part of the world, or a different world entirely, with all these different multiverse characters, and he's just not going to bother, and he's going to go after Kingpin, who is a mob boss. In the grand scheme of things, it would not have made sense at all. So, that kind of softens the blow of this being another multiverse story. There have been countless reports on what Spider-Man 4 will be. Of course, all of the ones who are saying it's street level have vanished, because it's obvious now that we are never going to get that street level story, at least not in the next movie, and probably not the next one. But what if we could get both? So the movie could start off with Peter, like the first kind of segment of the movie, maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes, something like that, will be before Avengers Doomsday. And it will be a somewhat grounded story, because you could have Spider-Man maybe doing exactly what Andrew Garfield was doing in that montage in Amazing Spider-Man 2, where he's just going and helping, people who are being mugged, maybe kids being, attacked or something like that. Just normal, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man things. I don't think that introducing Kingpin in this part will be smart. The same thing with Daredevil. I don't think Daredevil or Kingpin should be in this bit. But then, maybe 15 or 20 minutes into the movie, we see something happen. Like when Battleworld is created, I'm sure there's going to be something like a green glow in the sky or whatever. And Peter is just going to look up and see that happening from afar. And then all of a sudden, the Doomsday kind of Battleworld creation will occur. And then the movie will change to a multiverse story. While that would be cool, I understand a lot of people, myself included, who think that that kind of shift with the movie could be a bit much. Because you're going from exactly what people wanted to something that maybe they didn't know they wanted, or something that they didn't want right now, which was this insane, insane threat level. And yeah, my brain's buffering. But now the question remains, how are they going to make Null the villain of this movie when Doctor Doom is just chilling here, Because Doctor Doom is the big bad, right? Unfortunately, he's only going to have like a year of build up because he's probably only going to show up for the first time in Fantastic Four First Steps, which is less than a year from Avengers Doomsday. So even though Thanos had like 6 years of build up, Doctor Doom's only going to have less than one. So that's the problem, is that even though he's the big bad, he's still going to be sidelined for a movie like this, where you're going to bring in arguably somebody even more powerful than Doctor Doom. I don't know why I'm saying arguably. And that is Null. Null is unbelievably powerful. It's going to take way more than just Spider-Man or Venom to do it. The two of them together can't do it. They will need everybody. They're literally going to need everyone. And if I'm going to be honest with you, even if they give Toby, Tom, and Andrew the black suits, I still don't think they're going to do it, which is why I think that we should still just leave Null for later movies. They will have to give some sort of reason as to why Spider-Man is not going to be focusing on Doctor Doom, because it would be kind of like say Infinity War, right? During Infinity War, and the movie is just Hawkeye dealing with like a bug infestation on his farm. That's basically what this movie would feel like, because no matter the level of the threat, you still should be focusing on Doctor Doom, because he took you and put you in an entirely different world. Okay, I don't think that we should be focusing on Null here. Well, actually, to be fair, he is more powerful, but still, Doctor Doom can't just be pushed aside like he's nothing. So I don't know what Sony has up their sleeves. I don't know what Marvel has up their sleeves, but they need to find some sort of logical reason to make this feel like a cohesive story. Because this whole idea of the movie starting off street level, I think it would be cool. But then you would have to have, then you have to show Peter in Doomsday or as Battleworld's being created, because obviously Spider-Man will be in Avengers Doomsday. Then you're going to have the aftermath of that, and it'll just be too complicated. So I understand why there really won't be any street level things in the film. So yeah, there was no hope. The fact that Sony does this deliberately, like hinging Spider-Man on another MCU project. Every single Tom Holland Spider-Man movie was released just after a major project. His first one, Homecoming, was kind of hinged off of the success and the level of Civil War. Then Far From Home was obviously after Avengers Endgame. And then No Way Home, well, that was just hype because of the rumors. There, Sony didn't really care, They were like, this movie is going to make enough money. We can release it any time of the year. No one will be interested. But with Spider-Man 4, of course, they are hinging it off of Avengers Doomsday, where every project between Doomsday and Secret Wars will be set on Battleworld. So I don't know how they're going to do this. I really don't know. I'm just really hoping that they don't just bring Toby and Andrew back for fan service. Because I'm going to be honest with you, if there is if they come back in this movie, they will likely be in the trailers. Let's be honest, at least the first one. The teaser trailer, if it ends with a shot of Toby, Tom, and Andrew, I don't know why I list them in that order. If it ends with all of them wearing the black Venom suits, this movie could be the first movie ever to break $3 billion. Because, I mean, everyone knows that Spider-Man is a beloved character. You put anything Spider-Man related, people will eat it up. That's why so many people wasted their money, myself included, and went and watched Morbius. Thankfully, I learned my lesson, and I did not go watch Madam Web in the cinema. I watched it in the hospital, and I honestly, while I was watching it, I wanted to call a nurse and tell her to euthanize me, because that was an absolute nightmare. No Spider-Man connections whatsoever, but Venom is our only hope. That is why most of the Spider-Man projects do really well, because he's such a beloved character. And this movie it's gonna be bigger than No Way Home, unfortunately, because I love No Way Home. It's like my third favorite movie of all time. And I feel like Sony just really wasted this, because if this was set before Avengers Doomsday, we could have had our street level project with Vincent D'Onofrio as the villain. Because, I mean, Tom Holland did release a statement saying that he and Zendaya sat down and read the latest script for Spider-Man 4. And he was saying, like, it needs some work. It definitely it needs improvement. But when they were sitting down, they were, like, jumping up and squealing and everything and cheering. So that is a good sign. But him saying that the script needs work is a fantastic sign. Because you know that Tom Holland loves Spider-Man, and he wants to do everything he can to make sure the fans love this movie as much as, he's putting his work into it. So yeah, that is just a little video about Spider-Man 4 and everything that's kind of going on with the movie, and kind of a little fan theory that's going around of the movie starting off street level. I don't really think it will, given that it's probably going to fully take place after Doomsday. But yeah, please let me know your thoughts on what's going on with Spider-Man 4. What do you want to happen in the movie? And yeah, I think that is pretty much it. So if you did enjoy this video, then please leave a like, subscribe, and goodbye.